Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing all right. What can I say? I want to start off with, I actually admire the fact that there were some people that still somehow had this belief that, no, you know what? No, we're gonna beat Madrid. We're gonna win. We're gonna beat Real Madrid. And you know what? When you look at the way that we actually played in that first half, you'd probably think that there's a case to be made in relation to that. However, it goes to the same story, doesn't it? That there's certain decisions that are just not made correctly, and it sabotages you from the beginning. We go out, Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 2, once again. Only one goal off my prediction. I said 3-0 Madrid, finishes 2-0 Madrid. Could have been 3-0 Madrid. Could have also been 2-0 Chelsea in the first half, though, couldn't it? So this is where you got to look at it objectively. Because I'll be honest and say that first half was actually better than I expected. I didn't think that. What caught me was, weirdly enough, how quick we were actually moving the ball. We were sometimes playing in one touch, two touch, at best sometimes. I'm thinking, hang on, how are we actually moving the ball like this now? We're actually not losing it as frequently as I thought we'd lose it. And we're actually getting the ball near the box. And then it comes down to the fact of who is there to actually bury it and put it in the net. And it's just the same story, isn't it? It's the same story. It's just no one can shoot at Chelsea Football Club. But let's be honest. When you look at that starting 11, that's where the game was lost. Some people are going to say, no, but Younes, it worked. The shape worked. The shape, I would say, weirdly enough, even though I saw it on paper and thought, nah, this is crazy. The shape initially had a good impact at the beginning. However, even then, the personnel that were on the pitch, especially in the final third, was wrong. Look at the way that we were actually being able to move the ball. Sometimes we actually took the ball off Madrid in good areas. Reece James was playing really well in that first half. Getting inverted, moving quite nicely, creating chances. If you imagine that we actually had attackers there, right, to penetrate, not only into the half spaces, but to actually support Kai Havertz up there, who is the only attacker who at sometimes just looked like a ghost. Once again, you'd think that maybe we'd have a higher chance of being able to score. Instead, we were relying on Kante as a second striker to bury it at the times where he actually got it into a position to score. Gallagher couldn't hit a barn door. Cucurella, who, to be fair, got into a good position as a left back or as a left wing back. You'd expect him in that role. But you'd think that if there was an actual attacker in that space getting the ball, instead of Cucurella, maybe he buries it. And weirdly enough, even players like Mason Mount, for example, who's on the bench, you'd think in that position, surely you're going to bury that. Surely. But then again, it's Chelsea Football Club. Right now, this is the problem. It's all assumption. Because who knows?Maybe we wouldn't. Maybe we wouldn't. But I'd like to think that you'd give yourself a chance. At 2-0 down on aggregate, the lineup was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And that's where the game was lost for me. Already, from the get-go. Yes, Chelsea had this, that's what I want to say, urge or slight intensity to their game at the beginning. We were quick. We were urgent. That was nice for once. But we done absolutely nothing with it. And then it's only afterwards, after the damage is already done, that you actually bring on attackers. When we were already 2-0 down in the first place, having to chase 3 goals. And we set up like that, and then we bring on everyone that probably should have started later on after we've already conceded. It doesn't compute. It just does not compute. And that's where, for me, the game was lost. Frank Lampard, weirdly enough, today implemented a system that was effective at the beginning with the wrong personnel and then got outmanaged later. Because Ancelotti done one thing and that was it. And that was after they went 1-0 up, if I'm not mistaken. Rodrigo already got that first goal. And then I think it was already 1-0. He takes off Benzema. Brings on Tchouaméni. Adds another man to the midfield, an extra body, alleviates the pressure that we were focusing on Benzema, and it frees everyone else. Now all of a sudden Real Madrid are moving in a block with an extra man. And we got outnumbered. At that point, Real Madrid were in control of the game. And weirdly enough, I want to say this. Real Madrid were not good tonight. You're going to say, what? Real Madrid were not good tonight. Only up until they made that substitution. When they made that substitution and Tchouaméni came on, it shifted for them. We even lost our shape. We lost confidence. We brought on substitutions. We changed everything and it all went to pot. But Real Madrid, up until that moment, they were playing very low. They were leaving tons of space for us to go into, especially in midfield. They were inviting us in, which is weird. I didn't think or predetermine that they would do that. I thought that they would actually apply the pressure and catch us off guard because, we're in a panic right now. We're not very nice up here at the moment. We're low in confidence. Mate, just put the pressure on us and we'll fold. I thought Real Madrid would approach it like that. They didn't. They were willing to sit back. They were willing to be patient, play on the counter. But ultimately, it cost them at times because they were leaving tons of space. They were inviting us. We were linking up quite well when we got to the final third. Albeit we done absolutely nothing with it. But it was a risky game from Real Madrid. Ultimately, it took them that counter-attack, and then they did get that first goal with Rodrigo. So there you go. You don't bury your chances that you do actually end up getting, and then you allow a team like Real Madrid, who aren't even playing that well, to get a counter-attack and boom, you're 1-0 down. Game's gone. But I'd like to think, like I said, that, yes, the initial setup was, in hindsight now, correct. But personnel wrong, and then later on, completely outmanaged. Frank Lampard came with one plan and one plan only. And here's someone who said that he watched both games of last season. He's seen what happened at Brighton. He's seen what happened in the first leg. And we still done that. It's just absolutely insane. So when you look at that, overall, did we deserve to lose? Ultimately, yeah. Was it a surprise? No. Wasn't a surprise at all. Real Madrid go 1-0 up with that goal of Rodrigo. They get balls in very, very good spaces and then square into the box, and Rodrigo's in space. Nice tap in, 1-0. Same goes for the second goal. Vinicius. And that's one thing I want to say in comparison with Real Madrid compared to Chelsea. And this is where I turn to the players. There's a lot of selfishness in the Chelsea team. At times where they shouldn't be selfish, there's selfishness. At times where they want to be the hero, right now where no one's the hero, let's be honest, instead to pass it to the man who's in a better position than you, no, I'm going to go for the shot and try and be the hero. Whereas Real Madrid, Vinicius had opportunities to think, yeah, I'm just going to bury it. The goal's right there. Now, you know what? I'm going to square it to Rodrigo, who I know is in a much better position for him to just tap it in, and I'm going to be certain that we're going to score this goal. Chelsea don't do that. Hence the example, Mudryk came on and fluffed what he fluffed. Unbelievable. Same could be said for Cucurella when he fluffed what he fluffed in the first half. But again, like I mentioned earlier on, there are players in that position that I'd like to think bury that. It's just that the whole thing is just a mess. The whole thing overall is just a mess. I want to say that, yes, in terms of the first half and the way that we kicked off, it was better than I anticipated. But it was always just going to run its due course and then die out and phase out eventually, if you weren't going to actually crack on and take the chances that were presented to you. And we didn't. And Real Madrid seemed like, despite, I have to say, I thought the way that they set up in the first half was wrong. Like I mentioned, it was risky for them to just go, yeah, you know what? No, come, bring the ball to us. You come at us. I honestly think if Real Madrid took control of the game, they probably would have scored more. They would have killed the game early. But I can understand why, being 2-0 up, you think we don't have to. Let them come with us and then we'll go on the counter-attack. I can understand that concept. And that's the concept that Real Madrid took which, when you look at the lineup that Chelsea came out with, I thought that we were going to go with, but then we actually ended up trying to attack and move into space and actually create. Then I'm thinking, and why don't you have a bit more of an attacking lineup on the pitch in the first place to actually penetrate and get advantage of the chances that you're going to occur? Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard. So look, overall, it's just everything is in tatters. Like I said, we went into the second half, and when we did concede the second goal, you could see everyone's heads dropped. Then we make more substitutions, and it's like, well, what's the point? Everyone's just not motivated anymore. Real Madrid had a couple of other chances to even seal it, and they didn't. Kepa made the saves, albeit I think one of them was offside. And that's us out of the Champions League. That's us out of European football now. So now, like I said a few videos ago, or did I say it after the Real Madrid first leg loss? I think I said it after the first leg loss. The realism is now going to kick in for a lot of people, which I've come to terms with already. I mean, we a lot of us have seen this coming. The realism now is going to kick in. Now that there's absolutely nothing to play for, now that we're still in bad form in the league, now that we've still got to play Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Brentford, albeit, and then we've got to play Nottingham Forest. The realism is now going to kick in, because now you have to ask yourself, where's the goal coming from? Where's the points coming from? And who's over our shoulders at the moment? When we look over our shoulder, who's in the rear view mirror? They're not far. Palace, Wolves, all them lot, they're not far. So technically, even though we don't have anything to play for, we still technically have something to play for now, because we've got to look over our shoulders. And now the realism's going to kick in. We've got no European football next season. We've got nothing to play for now this season. Are we going to make top 4 next season with the way that we're set up now? We have to have a complete shift in the summer. We still don't know who our manager's going to be. We've got... I mean, is Todd Bowley going to go into the dressing room tonight? Chances are he probably will. Doesn't make any sense. Frank Lampard, is he going to have much more of an impact now? That ship has sailed. That lasted about, 5 minutes it lasted about, the whole Frank Lampard bringing the vibe. Bloody hell, I thought that would last at least a little bit longer. That disappointed me. I thought the vibe would last a little bit longer than that. You know, it literally lasted 10 minutes. You know, he was back, yeah, Super Frank, nice one, right, 10 minutes later, what are we doing? So it's bleak. It's very bleak, and it's sad. It's very, very sad. Very sad. To see it go down like this is very sad. Albeit, tonight was expected. It was always going to end like this. Always going to. So this is where I go back to the first point I made at the start. I appreciate some of the, I have to say, blind faith, the belief. Because fans are fans. Fans are fans. And you know what? I'll tell you this. If I wasn't on YouTube, if I wasn't telling you guys, you know, this and giving you content and having to analyze and having to go sometimes deep into a bit of detail, trust me, I'd be just like that. Because I remember how I used to be before all of this. And I remember when I had little numbers and I was doing this and I didn't really care. I would sometimes be like, yeah, we're going to do it. Come on, you know, albeit we had a proper team back then, so I can't really compare. I understand from a fan's perspective going, no, let's just go for it. Yes, we're going to do it. And then they ride on that vibe for a few hours. It makes them feel nice. It makes them feel like there's something to look forward to. And then the game kicks off. They give themselves this full sense of security and this full sense of expectation. We're going to do it. And then they see the reality and they're like, oh man, what a shame. When you go into the detail and you dive into how it actually is, when you look realistically, we were never going to get a result. Never. At least if we were going to set up correctly, if we were going to have the correct personnel, if we were going to have an actual system in place, maybe. It was never going to happen. Like I said, Ancelotti made one substitution that no one saw coming, and it shifted everything for Madrid. How's Frank Lampard going to react to that? He hasn't got the capabilities to react to it. He hasn't. Simple as that. So overall, look, it was expected. This is why I'm laid back. I'm actually surprised. It's only 2-0. I thought it would be 3. So maybe that's a positive to end on. Maybe. But now the season is dead officially. The season's been dead for a little while, let's be honest. But it's now officially dead, and we've still got to look over our shoulders. So it's looking bleak. But let me know. And like I've said, now the realism's going to kick in. By a lot of the supporters in terms of the ownership, in terms of Frank Lampard being in charge, even on an interim, in terms of the players, some of their capabilities, the ones who should be here, the ones who shouldn't, how we move forward, the manager situation. It's all going to kick in at once now. And everyone's going to see it for what it is. It's a complete shambles from head to toe. So there we are. Thank you all so much, people. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new video. Thank you all very much. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've somewhat enjoyed this. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.